Hello and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News on this Monday, December 22nd. I'm Grant Olson. Here's some of the stories we have coming up for you tonight. The Wenatchee Valley Fire Department says an apartment fire on Castlerock Street was narrowly averted this morning. The Chelan County PUD has found a good use for the piles and piles of debris created by the recent atmospheric river events. A mix of rain and snow is expected tonight through Christmas Day. Your full local weather forecast is coming up. The Eastmont School Board cannot take any action or consider a response to the recent arrest of one of its members until its next board meeting in 2026, according to Superintendent Spencer Taylor. On December 16th, board member Jason Hines was arrested for allegedly assaulting his teenage daughter and stalking his ex-fiancée. Hines, who works for the U.S. Forest Service, was first elected to the board in 2021 and was re-elected in November. District policy on addressing school director violations is outlined in several steps, beginning with a conversation between an offending school director and board chair and a separate executive session with the full board. The board may also decide to remove Hines, who is currently the district's representative to the Washington Interscholastic Activities Association, from any leadership or committee positions. The next board meeting will take place on January 12th in the boardroom of the district office at 800 Eastmont Avenue. Chelan County's Chief Deputy Coroner will now serve as the full appointed coroner. The Chelan County Board of Commissioners acted this morning to appoint Earl Crow, who's worked for 12 years under Coroner Wayne Harris, to fill that office upon Harris's retirement. Harris spent nearly 20 years as the chief investigator of unattended deaths in the county. He'll officially leave office at the end of this month. Crow was raised in Washington and Idaho and served as a death investigator in Ohio before taking the deputy job with Harris's office in 2013. His appointment takes effect on New Year's Day. The Wenatchee Valley Fire Department says an apartment fire on Castlerock Street was narrowly averted this morning when the fire burned through a water line and extinguished itself. It happened about 6:20 a.m. in the 1400 block. Fire Chief Brian Brett says a bathroom ceiling fan of one of the apartment units failed and caught fire, dropping burning material onto the bathroom floor. Those flames in turn burned through the service hose that supplies water to the toilet itself. The resulting leak from that hose doused the fire. The fire department says the fire did not spread into the larger structure, and the property managers are now assessing any damage from the water leak. No one was hurt, and the apartment residents were not home at the time. When we come back, Eastmont High School Principal Del Enders offered a shocking bet to his students during a recent school assembly. And just in the nick of time for Christmas cards, the city of Chelan has a new post office location up and running. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCWLIFE, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
Central Washington Water understands the power of healing waters. If part of your wellness routine includes hot heat from a sauna, Central Washington Water now carries indoor and outdoor infrared and hot rock saunas by Tilo. Research shows there are many health benefits to a cold plunge after a good workout or relaxing time in your sauna. Harness the power of water in a hot spring spa, plug-and-play spas, a Tilo sauna, or a cold plunge tub. Stop by Central Washington Water, your wellness experts.
When flooding hit Serve Wenatchee, their office and Fresh Hope Market were devastated. But their mission to help prevent homelessness in this valley hasn't stopped, and neither will we. I'm Todd McLaughlin, General Manager at Apple Valley Honda. Now through the end of the year, we're donating $25 to Serve Wenatchee every time someone takes a test drive. And if you happen to buy a vehicle, we'll give an additional $100 in your name. Because when our neighbors are in need, this community steps up, and we're proud to be part of that.
Order ready for Susan?
During the holiday rush, those might be the best words you can hear all week. At Abby's, you get a night off from cooking, a place to gather with family, and easy holiday catering that everybody loves. For legendary pizza and hospitality, visit Abby's.com. Aloha and Melikaliki Maka from Abby's. End your year with a tropical twist. Our big Hawaiian pizza at a legendary holiday price. Plus, earn $5, $10, $20 or more in free pizza with our holiday gift card offer. Abby's, a legendary holiday pizza tradition.
Eastmont High School Principal Del Enders offered a shocking bet to his students during a recent school assembly. The Eastmont School District works with two school resource officers, Ivy Jurgensen and Isaac Cooper. The agreement is that if students improve attendance and reduce their tardiness, Cooper will be tased by Jurgensen at the last school assembly of the year next June. The goal is to see attendance rise by 3% and tardies drop by 20%. On Facebook, the East Wenatchee Police Department encouraged parents to help their kids get to school regularly and on time. The Chelan County PUD has found a good use for the piles and piles of debris created by the recent atmospheric river events. Cities in western and central Washington state were hit by flooding and windstorms, which toppled trees and sent wood material down rivers. The PUD says it has so far removed 10,000 yards of waterborne debris, which backed up at the Rock Island Dam. The 10,000 yards of wood material are equal to about 800 semi-truck loads. The PUD says the debris will be made into wood chips and used in local parks and by agricultural companies throughout the county. Just in the nick of time for Christmas cards, the city of Chelan has a new post office location up and running. The town's permanent location for mail processing has moved from East Johnson Avenue to a new site at 215 East Wooden Avenue. For most of this year, Chelan residents had their mail processed at a mobile site while the Johnson Avenue building was closed in March for renovations and roof repair. Mayor Aaron McCardle worked with Postmaster Randy Copel to locate the new facility, while 8th District Congresswoman Kim Schreier helped steer the permitting and leasing process. The new Wooden Avenue office is open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. each Monday through Friday, plus 8 to noon on Saturdays. Coming up next in tonight's feature story, we continue our profile of Chelan Douglas Together for Youth, a nonprofit that's setting out to study the need for child care in the town of Waterville. Will we see a white Christmas here in north central Washington? I'll have your local weather details coming up, followed by Eric Granstrom with all the day's sports action as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues after these messages.
Raising a family may have seemed overwhelming to your parents, but they weren't. Coach, teacher, life guide, caregiver. Family takes care of family. And as the circle of life continues, you now are their caregiver. It may seem overwhelming, but we're here to help you find the support services necessary so you can provide quality care to your elders.
Call Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington at 1-800-572-4459.
There's no place like home, because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories, and we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Call Alpine Air Heating and Cooling today. Your comfort is their priority.
I'm Jen Mueller. Watch for my show, I Cook, You Measure on NCWLIFE. It's part cooking instruction, part entertainment, and all about connecting over food and wine with your favorite Northwest athletes.
Watch I Cook, You Measure with Jen Mueller Mondays at 1, Wednesdays at 2, Fridays at 11 a.m., and Saturday and Sundays at 10:30 p.m. right here on the NCWLIFE channel.
Well, we told you last week about a $68,000 state grant awarded to Chelan Douglas Together for Youth. It's a nonprofit that's setting out to study the need for childcare in the town of Waterville. But Together for Youth has multiple projects going on all the time to keep local kids healthy and thriving. In tonight's feature story, Executive Director Pete Tagan says outreach in Wenatchee Valley schools reaches upwards of 1,000 young people each year, giving them tools to deal with mental health, substance abuse, and other challenges.
So we track most of our projects that we help, or programs that we help implement in the schools, and I think last year we had over 1,000 kids participate in one program or another. Most of those programs are implemented through the schools, so it could be a school-based program that we help bring to the school that address mental health or substance use. But I think it was just over 1,000 kids in Chelan and Douglas County.
Can you characterize some of the programs that Together for Youth does bring into schools? I've read about Project Hope, for instance. That might be a good example.
Well, so we helped coordinate implementation of Hope Squad, which is a suicide prevention program that was a partnership with Thriving Together NCW that brought Hope Squad, which is a peer-to-peer suicide prevention program, to I think it was 29 or 30 schools across Chelan, Douglas, and Grant and Okanagan County as well. So that's a good example of how we partner with other folks like Thriving Together and schools to address a need that's identified. We've also do a lot of work. I mentioned, working with youth is important, but also important is working with families. So we try to bring family and parenting programs as well. So we've done Parenting with Love and Logic for the last number of years. We offer that in English and Spanish. Most of our programs we offer in English and Spanish to make sure we're reaching as many of the community members as possible. We also are working with WSU Extension right now. They're implementing the Strengthening Families program. Again, it's a program set to really empower families on how to communicate more effectively, set boundaries, work through problems, overall just sort of succeed and work better together. Some of our school-based programs this year, we're working with Lincoln Elementary School to implement Second Step, which is a social emotional learning program, again, to help students understand, about their emotions and it's okay to be mad, but how we handle that anger is important. Or sometimes we feel sad. How do we work through those? So we really try to be flexible in what programs we bring to schools, and that's where we could be of a service, is that schools, often our teachers, counselors, administrators, classified staff are so busy that anything we can do to help enable them to better connect with young people and address whatever challenges they may be facing, we're really excited to work on.
So Pete, you have been Executive Director at Together for Youth for about a year and a half, and you came into it from the natural resources and conservation space. So a little bit different maybe from the outside, but can you tell me how your past work might square up with the work you're doing now?
Yeah, so I worked for a regional nonprofit called Sustainable Northwest for a number of years. And I worked in the forestry program. So we partnered with Okanagan Wenatchee National Forest on their Central Washington initiative. And again, that was that huge comprehensive plan to really address the wildfire crisis in our region. But in order for the Forest Service to advance and make that work, feasible on the ground, they had to work with a lot of different partners. And so we really helped with that partner engagement and collaboration. Partners like the Cascadia Conservation District, Chelan County Natural Resources Department, Chumstick Wildfire Stewardship Coalition, the Nature Conservancy, just a plethora of partners. So it was similar in that, it's what is the problem we're trying to address? What stakeholders do we need to bring to the table to start having conversation, understand how we can, identify strategies and programs to address those problems.
Does the work with youth excite you in the same way, or is it a different kind of challenge?
Yeah, I really enjoy it. I had done a lot of youth development many years ago, and I've always really enjoyed working with young people and helping connect them. It also feels at times, it feels really gratifying. Natural resource and conservation work is super important, but it can be pretty slow moving to get stuff done, and then you have wildfires and you feel like, oh, what is all this for? Whereas working with youth, it's, they always bring energy, and that can be really exciting, and it's really fun to work with, kids and schools and other partners who are working with kids. So yeah, it's exciting. It's definitely energizing and tiring at times.
Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. Hope you had a fantastic weekend. And today, not bad out there. It did feel awfully cool, though. Not bad this morning with sunshine, but boy, look at this dramatic shot from this afternoon outside our weather window, and that is our Hay Canyon Tower shot. And it's looking down at the city of Cashmere and all of those very dramatic dark clouds that began moving in about midday this afternoon. That will usher in some rain shower activity. And as we take a look at your Christmas week ahead, that's going to pretty much be the theme throughout our week. We will see those showers tonight. High temperatures didn't get to the upper 30s. I think we'll do that tomorrow. Mostly cloudy during the day, but by tomorrow night, a good chance for rain mixed with snow here. That goes for Christmas Eve as well. Once again, we'll see highs generally mid to upper 30s. For your Christmas Day, about a 50-50 chance that we'll see some rain and snow, temperatures staying in the upper 30s. By Friday, mostly cloudy, maybe a little bit of mountain snow, but then we begin to dry out as we get into the weekend. So travel-wise, not bad for the weekend on the way home, but it might be a little tricky getting to the relative's house, and we'll talk about that coming up. But to temperatures today, we're actually about normal for the first time in a long time. 34 unofficially our high, 32 is where we should be for this time of year. Our record high set back in 2014 at 51 degrees. This morning, 28. About 5 degrees above where we should be at 23, and our record low 9 below, set back in 1983. Sunrise this morning 7:46, and it set this afternoon at 4:13. Getting you into the forecast now. Here are your Tuesday temperatures. They'll hit 40 possibly for Moses Lake and Ephrata, 39 in Quincy's, and then a lot of 37s from Ellensburg into Wenatchee through Eniat and Chelan and all the way up into Omak. About 37 tomorrow, 36s for both Leavenworth and for Cashmere. So we're going to stay just slightly above where we should be for this time of year as far as temperatures go. Tonight, this is our weather maker. Area of low pressure off the British Columbia coast. It's bringing in a southwesterly flow, and that could kick off some rain mixed with snow showers for us tonight. About a 50-50 chance. We'll see low temperatures in the upper 20s, so a lot like this morning. For Tuesday, mostly cloudy skies. It's this low off the California coast that it's going to provide another sort of atmospheric river coming our way. So by Tuesday evening, a 70% chance we'll see rain and snow. High temperatures near 40. For Christmas Eve, here we go. Cloudy skies. I think most of the rain activity will be around noon, and I think it will be rain because once again, we're going to see highs near 40 degrees on Christmas Eve. For your Christmas Day, that area of low pressure slides up the coast and moves off the coast of Oregon, and that'll still supply plenty of moisture on Christmas Day. Kind of a rain-snow mix, maybe even some icy conditions on Christmas Day. It will be cooler with highs in the mid-30s. For your Friday, this is where we begin to stabilize a little bit as high pressure moves into our weather picture. Mostly cloudy. I think we're going to be a bit breezy during the day Friday. High temperatures in the mid-30s. And then as we get you into the weekend, partly cloudy on Saturday. Very quiet weather as we get to the weekend. High temperatures a little above normal into those mid-30s. And then as we end our weekend on Sunday, we will see once again just partly cloudy skies out there. It will be once again not much happening. Warmer temperatures to end our weekend with just a few high clouds. High temperatures by the end of our forecast. Not bad for this time of year, near 40 degrees. All right, here's your 7-day forecast now, and it's brought to you by Colonial Vista Senior Living in Wenatchee, where comfort, care, and community come together. A little on the chilly side tonight, but that actually is above where we should be for this time of year. 28 for our low tonight, and then a 70% chance of evening rain and snow Tuesday, a 70% chance on Christmas Eve. I think that'll be early afternoon. High temperatures mid to upper 30s, and then about a 50-50 chance for a rain-snow mix on Christmas Day in 36. Before we dry out, we'll see mostly cloudy skies, maybe a bit windy for Friday in 36, and then just partly cloudy skies and quiet weather for Saturday and Sunday with highs in the mid to upper 30s. And that's a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCWLIFE, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
And a happy Monday to you. The Seattle Kraken snapped a 4-game losing streak with a 4-2 win over San Jose on Saturday. Seattle was up and then fell behind before coming through with the game winners in the third period. Finishing has been a buzzword around the Kraken camp for a couple of months now. Chandler Stevenson, Ely Tolvanen, and Coach Lane Lambert talked about finishing in their post-game comments.
Obviously, it's nice to win. Feels good. But, I think we know how it's been here as of late, and obviously going to enjoy this one. But I think, I like how we played, and just got to take this into Anaheim and LA and try to get as many points there before the Christmas break.
Well, I think we played first period was really good. Second period was kind of a sloppy period. We gave them a lot of chances. They had some momentum, but I think we did a really good job in the third period, kind of closing the game. We didn't give them much.
Was there a temptation there? You get the early score, it's 2-1. What was the bench like at that moment or in that couple of shifts?
Well, we've been in a situation a lot this year. Lately we haven't got the wins. We've talked a lot lately, how to close the games and what we got to do, to get the wins. And it felt like the whole bench was just confident that we can do it, and I think it showed on the third period.
There was a lot of commitment. We spent some time in our zone in the second period, but we had a lot of commitment. A lot of block shots, and I thought that we stuck with it even when we went down in the third. So it was total team effort.
Proof is in the pudding to see if the Kraken can finish back-to-back games. They'll play in Anaheim tonight against the Ducks at 7 o'clock. That'll be on King 5 and Kong TV. Well, following the Seahawks' most improbable win over the Rams on Thursday night, they found out that defensive end Derek Hall will be suspended for 1 game. Hall's been suspended by the NFL for one game after stepping on Rams offensive guard Kevin Dotson while Dotson was on the ground following an ankle injury. Hall will be out when the Seahawks travel to Carolina to face the Panthers on Monday Night Football next week. Now, speaking of Monday Night Football, San Francisco needs a win tonight to keep pace with the Rams and Seahawks atop the NFC West. Following Seattle's victory over the Rams, the Seahawks are in first place in the division, a half game in front of Los Angeles and a game and a half in front of the 49ers. San Francisco's on the road facing Phillip Rivers and the Colts tonight. Arizona's free fall continued over the weekend, falling against Atlanta Sunday 26-19. Seattle University won the Battle of Seattle on Friday night against the University of Washington at Climate Pledge Arena. The Redhawks beat Washington 70-66. Saturday saw Utah down Eastern Washington 101-77. Number 7 Gonzaga came from behind in the second half to beat Oregon in Portland last night 91-82. In women's college basketball Friday, Pennsylvania edged Washington State 67-62. Gonzaga beat Missouri State 68-49. Stanford edged number 22 Washington 67-62. On Saturday, Eastern fell to Cal State Bakersfield 85-72. Huskies got back on the winning track Sunday with a 90-50 win over Pacific. Gonzaga used a big fourth quarter to come back and beat UC Riverside 68-62. Hailey Van Lith, now a member of the Chicago Sky in the WNBA, was back in Kashmir on Friday night for a special ceremony at her alma mater.
3, 2, 1. Just wanted to say a couple words to this, beautiful community that I grew up in. Thank you guys so much for tonight. It really is a blessing for me to come back and, see everyone, see where I started.
Van Lith joined me following the ceremony and reflected on how fun it is to be a role model for youngsters.
Yeah, I always had dreams and I was always super ambitious. Whether I really knew the caliber of the dreams that I was saying I was going to accomplish, who knows what was going on in teenage Hailey's mind, but I used to be those little girls, and for me to have the opportunity to be that role model and be someone that they can see and know that I'm experiencing that, and I've played at that level, to be that role model in that way so that they can believe in themselves. What else can you ask for in life is to inspire the next generation. So I love it. I love seeing them in all their jerseys. I even see a couple of little boys in the jersey, and that's incredible in itself. So it's truly, today's been a blessing.
We certainly appreciate Hailey Van Lith for joining us here on the NCWLIFE channel. Maybe Hailey's presence was positive for the Kashmir girls team as they picked up a victory against Wenatchee Valley on Friday night. The Bulldogs beat the Rangers 34-27. University handled Moses Lake 50-30. Quincy downed Ephrata 60-43. Lakeside 9 Mile Falls beat Omak 66-38. Cascade took down Chelan 53-32. Pateras topped Cross Point Christian 55-46. Colville topped Tonasket 53-35. And Soap Lake stopped Entiat 57-22. Saturday's scoreboard saw Sela thump Ephrata 84-30. Quincy won 2 in a row, downing Othello 58-54. Royal beat Kashmir 40-28. Omak topped Kettle Falls 45-35. Bridgeport beat Oroville 33-26. Liberty Bell down Jenkins Chewelah 69-32. Manson topped Tonasket 38-34. Nia Bay earned a 65-35 win over Pateras, and Garfield Palouse edged Waterville Mansfield 42-37. In boys play on Friday night, Moses Lake beat University 73-59. Ephrata got by Quincy 40-30. Kashmir down Natchez Valley 51-42. Chelan clobbered Cascade 81-19. Tonasket topped Colville 49-36. Waterville Mansfield thumped Thorpe 64-39. Moses Lake Christian beat Nia Bay 56-46. Cross Point Christian popped Pateras 67-19, and Entiat stopped Soap Lake 63-28. The final. On Saturday night, Sela shot past Ephrata 64-42. Quincy downed Othello 81-70. Royal beat up Kashmir 63-29. Omak got by Kettle Falls 56-49. Nia Bay beat Lake Roosevelt 68-49. It was Bridgeport over Oroville 69-41. Liberty Bell beat Jenkins Chewelah 62-51. And Tonasket topped Manson 62-38. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Grantstrom. Have a happy Monday.
And that will do it for this Monday edition of the NCWLIFE Evening News. Remember, if you see news happening, let us know. Email your news tips to news@ncwlife.com or just give us a call at 888-6295. Our channel is also available on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks so much for being with us and have a great night.